In this video, we're going to be learning how to add a scrolling timer onto a PowerPoint presentation. It isn't very difficult to do, but there are certain steps you have to go through in order to create it. So let me show you how you do that. Once you've opened your PowerPoint, there's a few setup things that you're going to have to do. One of those is to go to your Slideshow tab, go to Setup Slideshow, and then just double check that your settings. You'll want to have it set to presented by a speaker, full screen, using timings if present, show all slides. And if all of those things are okay, I just press OK to make sure that they're showing. Then what we're going to be doing is we're going to start adding the timer to our screen. There are multiple ways that you can do this, but I'll show you a really fairly quick and easy way to do it. The first thing we're going to do is we have to draw the scroll bar on our screen. So I'm going to go up to Insert, Shapes, and let's use a rectangle. Then I just draw the rectangle on the screen like this. Now, while this is fine, a lot of times you want to have more color. And one of the things that I like to do is to be able to add a gradiated bar on the screen. So I'm going to go to Fill Shape under the Shape format, Gradient, More Gradients, Gradient Fill, and then I'm going to be wanting to put my gradation on the screen here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is the direction. I would like to have it go from left to right with my colors. So I'm going to go linear left. And you'll notice that's what I have here. Now I'd like to change my colors. So I click on the first bar that we have, go under Color, and let's choose red. Now, what's going to be happening is I'm going to create this bar so it slides from left to right. So I want to have the color green on my right side so that that'll kind of show that there's a warning that's about to happen. So I just need to change the color scheme here. So I click again on this red. I'm going to add green. Go to the very last little tab that we have there, and I'm going to choose red. Now, I don't need to have this extra one in here, and I don't need to have this one. So I click it, and then I go to where I can remove the gradient stop. There. Now you'll notice we're coming across here. If you'd like to add another stop in, you can just click in the middle of it, and you can change the color then. Sometimes it's nice to have the color yellow in the middle. It all depends on what you would like to have. So now we've set up our gradient colors. So we have all of this. Now, if I'm looking ahead at what my timer is going to be, I would like it to play a sound when it gets done. So I'll be able to have that in there. So that's a step that we're going to be adding to this. If you already have a sound that you've downloaded from some other location or a short little bit of music or something, you'll be able to just insert that sound in. But we're going to use the built-in sounds inside of PowerPoint. So what I need to do is just go a little step here. So now I'm going to make sure I have my shape selected. And then I'm going to go to the Animations tab on top, and I'm going to go to this very bottom choice, the selection, and I'm going to choose Exit Fly Out. Now I know that didn't go the right direction, but that's where we can come to our effect options, and I'm going to have it go to the right, and you'll see it just slid out to the right hand side. That's exactly what we want. So now I have this created, and if I go to my animation pane under my Animations tab, you'll see I already have that added here. So now here's the part where you can add the pre-built sounds already inside of PowerPoint. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this design that I've already created. So I do a Control-C and then a Control-V, and you'll see I just pasted it. I'm going to slide it up on top. Now I want to get rid of the inside of this. So if I double click it and make sure that I'm on shape format, I can go to shape fill and go no fill. Now it's important that you leave this up here for now while you're setting up your timer that you have here, because this is going to be the sound. And what you're able to do then is have this sound selected. Sometimes you have to click the outside line on those. Go to the drop down menu, go to Effect Options, and you'll see under Enhancements there's Sound. When I click that and I slide down, I can see there's a bunch that you can choose from, but I'm going to choose Chime, and then click OK. And you may have just heard that happen there. So that's perfect. Now I've got this almost ready to go. The other thing that I want to do is make sure that the sound plays after the timer has counted down. So I come back to that drop down, click Timing. I'm going to put the duration as 5 seconds, and it's going to play after the previous, which would be this gradation that I used here, and then I click OK. And then you get just a little bit of a preview that goes along with that. Now we come back in again. We're going to want our nice gradient colors that we chose right here to start after the previous. There we go. And you can always tell, because if it's going to be something that has to be clicked, you'll see a little mouse symbol. Right now we got a timer on there. So this will start right away. Rectangle 3 will start right away. Rectangle 4 will start after rectangle 3. It's pretty slick. It's not too bad at all to be able to do. Now we can work our magic here with this. I'm going to come up, grab the edge of our sound, go back to shape format, shape outline, no outline. Now if I would do that earlier, I wouldn't have anything to move and it would disappear. But now that I've added it into my pane that I have here, my animation pane, it's going to end up working for you. So works out really slick. Now a couple of things we're going to want to adjust, and if you take a look you can see how some things work here. We need to be able to change some of the timings that we have here. So I'm going to come back up to my animations, and you'll kind of see right up on the top here our times don't quite really match up. We want to make this first animation go for, let's just say 10 seconds. All I have to do is type in 10 here. If I would want it to go for 2 minutes, I would type in 120 seconds. You just keep doing your math. I will warn you, once you get over 10 minutes, this doesn't work any longer. You have to go down, you have to choose from the little bar in the bottom or up on the top up here, and that gets a little confusing. So less than 10 minutes isn't a problem. But for this demonstration, let's just go 10 seconds. So I click OK. You'll notice it's sliding across the screen. I'm going to stop it because we don't need it to be like that. And you'll see now things are working out really well in this timeline that we have right up here. That's awesome. Now you can add a photo to the background or an image to the background if you like, and that would just be under Insert, Pictures, or something from a photo album, whatever you would like. I'm going to just take a picture here and get something really, really simple. Nothing fancy at all. I'm just going to add this. There we go. Stretched out so that it fills the whole screen. Now you'll notice it covered up my timeline. That's really simple to take care of. Just right click on it, go send to back, boom, there you go. Now if you want to see what this is going to look like, all you have to do is start the presentation. So I'm going to click the little slideshow symbol, and there it goes. It's moving across, and when it gets to the end we should hear our little chime sound. There we go, just like that. Now I can press escape. Let's add another slide to this now, because the odds are your timer is going to go for more than that. So all I have to do is click over on the left side navigation window that we have, I click on the number 1 slide, go Control C for copy, Control V for paste. Now, I have 2 identical slides, and this would end up continuing to play. But there is something you'll need to change with this in order to get it to move from one slide to the next automatically. And that means you need to come up to your Transitions tab, and you'll see over on the side it asks how long is the duration of this slide going to be. Now, what I like to, kind of a rule of thumb that I like to follow, is if my slide is going to be 10 seconds and I have just a basic sound effect, I'm going to add 5 seconds on for that. That brings the total of this slide to 15 seconds. So I'm just going to type in 15 for this, and then this is really critical. Deselect the on mouse click and click after. Make sure you have these selected. And then, now we've got this selected in here, we can come down to the next Transitions tab, change this again to 15 seconds, after, and there we go. Now, if you look when I move between these slides, it's staying there. It's a good idea to make sure you do save as you go along, because you don't want to lose all that hard work that you do. And so we come up to the desktop, and we're just going to call this slideshow timer, or whatever name you want. Click save. Something you also want to remember with all of this is that, remember, I went 10 seconds for this particular slide. You can go longer than that, and then remember that whatever your timer is, add the length of your audio sound that you want to have play when it's over on to the end of it. If you use a sound clip of 30 seconds and this timer is only going to go for 10 seconds, then you're going to have 40 seconds you're going to want to be able to change this duration to. Let's see if it works. I've chosen the first slide. I start my slideshow, and here it goes. Do you see how the red is going more toward the end? Just a nice warning for the students. Oh, and you'll notice it didn't automatically start. It did, but I had left a little extra time on there. Probably 15 seconds wouldn't have been needed for that whole time. Yep, there it is. There was just a little bit of extra time for this rectangle up here. So that's where you can come back in. Then you just kind of fiddle with the amount of time that your durations are going to be. That's all you need to do. And you can change the background at any time. It's just click on the slide you want, click on the background, delete it, and you can change that background. And basically, don't forget to save again. That is all there is to creating this wonderful timer that can scroll along the bottom and keep track of what you're doing in your classroom and whenever you need to use a timer. Thanks, everybody.